naira per semester as study allowance. Action! 100,000 naira study allowance per semester to students. So if you're a student and you're listening to us and you manage to vote for AAC and Sowore as your president next year, you'll be getting 200,000 naira every year. Yeah, every year for going to school. We have a caveat, a little caveat. If after you finish school, this 200,000 naira per year translates to roughly how much? 200,000 times 800,000. 800,000. That's not even $1 million naira. It's not too much to invest $1 million naira on students to go to school for 4 years. This country can afford to give students 800,000 naira or 1 million naira every 4 years to go to school. And I don't know how you guys feel. Is anybody here who feels that would be helpful if you go to school and you get some allowance?
Definitely.
And if we do it, it's the right investment for the future. It is the right investment for the future. And this will be applicable to students regardless of their place. It's an investment we will make, but you don't have to take it if you think you have more money than that. You decide that you don't want the money. Not a problem. And this will apply, of course, to public institutions. We will not be able to extend that to people who are going to all these expensive schools. If you can afford private university, you should be able to. But that is not to say that we will not have plans for students who are attending private universities too, because it might be that in the course of attending a private university, you lose your dad, your mom. That should not prevent you from finishing school. Yes. So we will have for them a process for loans, where you can take out loans to complete your studies, or depending on your circumstance, you can explain to an education board in charge of this, and that will solve the problem of education for your payment of your allowance, fees and maintenance. I am saying this based upon my experience, that when I traveled and lived in the US for 19 years, I was admitted into university to study a master's degree. My parents, of course, were still poor in Nigeria. I had a job, but I couldn't afford the school, so I applied for students' loan. I got loans to finish. Part of my loan was what I used in paying for my rent. In fact, there are people who got loans from which they bought cars. And I wasn't even a US citizen, I was just a sojourner, yes. But I had all these opportunities. So you can imagine how I felt about the US. If I was a citizen, I would feel at least a little proud that my country is interested in educating me. And if you educate someone, the person is likely to love his country and give back to the country.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Absolutely.
So right now I'm paying back the loans, no doubt about it. And I've not even finished paying back the loans. But I'm just saying that if I was supported by another country, how come my country can't support me, So you deserve the support. We are not doing you a favor if we give you study allowance. Liberia just introduced tuition-free higher education studies. So we can do it. Well, our priorities here are always wrong. We had somebody who was with us a few days ago. I was talking about TED funds. What is there? That's the tertiary institution fund. And they said there are billions and billions of naira in it, but it's always frittered away by our leaders. They always divert the money for election purposes. They award contracts that are never implemented. They use it for it's a political slush fund, right?
Yes.
So while at it, I think there might be questions for us. Is it possible there are questions?
Someone said, how will you solve cultism when elected?
Cultism is not a big problem as such. But what is a big problem is the connivance between our political leaders, our security agencies, to aid and abet violent crimes. on campuses and elsewhere. So it's not only on campuses. I was a student leader in my days at the University of Lagos, and we had problems of cultism. Even as a student leader, without the help of police and the school authorities and the government, we were able to fight cultism to the point that no student at the University of Lagos, while I was there, was a victim of a cult attack. Nobody got killed. The year I left the University of Lagos, they started killing people like flies, on campus. But what we saw during our time was that cult people, these cult gangs are not just regular people. They are children of the rich, children of the elites. So when they get arrested, their parents just go to the police station, they withdraw them, and the next day they're either back on campus or they have moved them to London or elsewhere to continue their studies, whereas their victims have been killed and buried. So these are problems that can be solved when you have the right government in place and you have the right security agencies doing justice of violent crimes. Any other questions?
People were asking if there's a caveat to the money you said you're going to give students.
Oh, the caveat being that after you are done, we expect you to pick up public service jobs, right, for at least 4 years. If you decide that after you get all this money, you don't want to work for the federal government or work in the public sector, we may have you return the money back to us. So that's just it. We're using it to incentivize people to finish school and also to pick up, to become public spirited. So that's the only caveat. But for us, the focus is to support majority of our students to go to school. We want to improve also the quality of education, such that we'll change the way things are done now with regards to grading. I have been a teacher, what we call professor in the US, for over 8 years. And attendance is a key part of going to school. But in Nigeria, it will be 80% examination, 10% attendance, and another 10% I think assignment. Assessment. You have to change that around. You have to make sure that students attend classes and participate in class activities, not waiting for exam. And if all you do is for people to wait and run around for exam, for a lot of people, they just go and cram their books a day before exam, or they'll be going around looking for babalawo to pray for them, or they'll be carrying something in their pouch, or a magic pen. My dad tried to give me a magic pen, and it didn't happen too well because they were doing maths. I was a good math student. Those things don't work. But if people attend classes, and by the time they are going for exams, they have almost concluded 50 to 60% of their classwork. Participation, collaboration, we need to change things around with regards to how people are graded in schools. So yes, I really think that would work a lot. But it's also important to mention that we have to improve the facilities and infrastructure that support education. Some of our classrooms are, like prison yards. The environment. The environment. The education system is like the Nigerian Railway Corporation that we entered the other day. That's horrible. Do you have any other questions out there?
I did, Crispy. How do you intend to tackle our population spiraling out of control?
A Nigerian population, we have to be thinking about what people do with population elsewhere. Yes. How is it that China has a huge population and they are doing well? Leadership, right? Creativity. Population, when well channeled, right? And I know, again, it's controversial, is a resource. The Nigerian population could be turned into a resource. But all of us are not thinking about, that's why we are very focused on education and health in this campaign. Because the moment, if everybody that is in Nigeria today has got great education and they're in good health, and we are involved and engaging ourselves creatively in how to market ourselves and create things that can sell to the world, the population will become an advantage, not a disadvantage. But if we are not getting things right, even if we are only 1 million people, we will still be poor. That's the point to make about population. So yes, I can tell you that we'll preach and ask people not to have more than 2 kids. that won't make any difference, because how do you get to the rural people who rely on population as a workforce, right, to help the family? And, when I was growing up, and for a lot of people, I don't know if it's correct, my dad had 20 kids. But the thing at the back of his mind is that he sees his children as a social security retirement fund. He knows that at the end of the day, when all of you go to school, some will be successful, some may not be. There will be a support system. But his calculation worked. Yes, his calculation worked. Now we're able to support. He's gone. My dad died a long time ago. But all his kids somehow are able to support their parents, because Nigeria has got nothing for the old people. Turkey has got a lot for their old people now, and these are things that are propelling the reason why we are saying that there's an urgency of now for this campaign for us to rescue Nigeria.
Yes,
right?
Take it back, action.
Take Nigeria back.
This one says, how do you want to fight for press freedom in Nigeria?
Press freedom. You're talking to the right guy. Yeah. I mean, I worked, to create a totally different environment for, media activism in Nigeria. That's how Sahara Reporters came about. And it didn't matter whether you like it or not, Sahara Reporters had a way of doing what they like to do. Not only are we providing free information to people, but very detailed information that affects their lives, that help them make decisions. We also fight for press freedom, because whenever any media house or houses or journalists are incarcerated or victimized, we are there to fight for them. But we need to codify that in our law. Right now, Nigeria is not exactly directly under media repression as it used to be in the past. But there are a lot of ways that they are using to censor the media. And one of it is libel laws. The libel laws are so destructive that it allows a rich man to go to his village to go and sue a journalist who wrote about them in the city, like they did to us in Ilorin with Saraki and seized all our money last year. Those are ways of violating the freedom of press. Now, they also are using the NBC, that's Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, I think that's what they call them. The commission. Sorry, Nigeria Broadcasting Commission, to censor radio presenters, censor television presenters. We'll get rid of all that nonsense.
This is from YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes. Ada Benson. Mr. President, to be pleased, let's emphasize on regional government. That is what we do in civilized society, USA, England. Let every state manage their resources and police and military. Thanks.
Well, maybe I need to correct that person. The US government does not have regional governments. They have state governments. They have a federal structure that allows states to take certain decisions, and I have said that I'm going to get the devolution of powers. I have said that I'm totally in support of state police, local government police. In fact, if a town can afford to have a police, it will be free to have it under our government. But we need to change our constitution to allow that to happen. And I've also always said that the Nigerian constitution is it's a piece of crap. No Nigerian was there when they made the constitution. In fact, somebody was telling me last week that they went and looked at the section of the Nigerian constitution and compared with that of the US.
Yes, sir.
And it was completely copied and pasted.
Yes,
they did not even change certain names there. There's nothing ingenious about what we do. Yeah. Still
from YouTube.
Yes.
Lucky Kamardin, if we should vote you in as president, how are you going to manage all the roads in Nigeria?
Let him keep using the word, stop using the word if. Tell him when we vote you as president. We have said it that we will double the road infrastructure in Nigeria. There are about 200,000 kilometers of roads across Nigeria owned and maintained by the federal government. They are not even maintaining up to 1,000 kilometers of this road. We will we will double that in 4 years. That is to say, we are going to 400,000 kilometers of roads, highway in the country. But this will mean that we'll have the dual carriageway interstate highway system, which means that you can travel around Nigeria which is about 2,000 kilometers. Can somebody do the research for us? We need people who will be on standby to do research. What is a square kilometer in around Nigeria? If you want to drive around Nigeria, it's not a lot. Nigeria is not big. I keep telling people it's not a big country. You can fly from one side of Nigeria, Lagos, to Maiduguri in less than 2 hours. Yeah. And the other day, I was traveling inside Australia from Sydney to Perth. 4 hours, 5 minutes.
Wow.
Road? No, by air.
Yeah, wow.
True road, that one will probably be like a week.
923,768 kilometers square.
Yeah, that's around Nigeria.
Yes.
So
923,768.
Yeah. So we need to have 400,000 of highway system across Nigeria. Dualized, whichever one is not dualized now, and straighten them wherever. I mean, if you are going to Abuja, for example, from Lagos, you have direct highway up to Ibadan, and then from Ibadan all the way to Ife, you have dual carriageway, and then it ends abruptly there. That needs to continue through Akure, and all those corner that you have to pass through, through Akumba and all that. You should avoid that. It should be like very direct highway. Before you know it, you should be able to get from Lagos to Abuja in 4 hours. Yes, on highways that are, well surfaced and well maintained.
This is from Facebook, Ade Crispy. How about the oil wells shared amongst these old cabals? Please, very important. See why Danjuma says he has so much money, he doesn't know what to do with the money.
Yeah, I think we have discussed it that we'll look at these things and see what can be reverted to the Nigerian nation. Nigeria owns the oil wells. I would prefer to give an oil well to a federal university so that whatever we gain from the oil wells will be used as endowment for education, and to allow all these criminals to retain Nigeria oil wells. Even at least we cannot, for political or legal reasons, take away directly from them what they have now. There are a lot of them are owing royalties that have not been paid to the federal government. If you calculate the back pay together and they look at it, they will understand why they should give it up. If we are collecting royalties, there was a time I saw, I think it was a Dantata family member. He was owing $90 million of royalties that he never paid. And a lot of them like that. In fact, the calculation we had the other day was that there are $60 billion owed to the Nigerian government in royalties. But NNPC officials are conniving with oil companies. That's why we have to completely overhaul the NNPC. Take the place apart, make it transparent, and put in people who are not thieves in these places. We have been robbed for too long, and there's no reason why we will not change ownership. I will not change structure. I will not change conduct and transparency of. The moment we become transparent and there's no opaqueness in the way we conduct our business in the oil sector, we will be like other oil producing nations around the world that have got electricity, health care for their people, and other facilities that you can. Even Angola that just ended 20 years of war, they are doing better than Nigeria in terms of provision of infrastructure right now.
This one says, Mr. President, you seem silent on LGBT rights in all your campaign. Is it deliberate?
Well, I've not. That's not true. There was a question about it.
We talked about it
on the couch with Fast the other day. Yeah, I've been making my position clear that it's not the business of government to regulate what people do in their bedrooms, or for government to be chasing after people when there are criminals out there who are stealing Nigeria, robbing Nigeria blind. And all you can do is be going after somebody who is sleeping with another person in their bedroom and try to jail them. Since they introduced the law on LGBT, have they been able to jail a single person when we cannot even implement other serious laws? You are trying to criminalize lifestyles that has now become fundamental rights of people. So I've been very clear about it. Maybe it's because a lot of people haven't asked me those questions.
Yeah.
This one says, okay.
From YouTube, what are your immediate plans to rejig the Nigerian economy, and what is your agenda for child poverty?
Immediate plans to rejig the economy. Didn't we say that will provide 5 million jobs through electricity provision for the country, power sector, rejigging the power sector by injecting renewable energy and making electricity available 24 hours. That alone, the moment we start getting electricity in 24 hours, the economy will bounce. Not bounce back alone, it will bounce beyond our expectations, because it will enable a lot of companies that ran away to Ghana and other places to come back here, because there will be electricity and they will have workforce that will help them, keep producing. And then all the interventions we want to have in the power sector and infrastructure is going to just help us in agriculture, health. Will provide so many jobs for people that will lead to increased economic activities. And of course, the minimum wage that is going to help people have a livable life would mean that people can send their children to school, go to hospital, even go on vacation. Child poverty, we mentioned that what is it that is child poverty? It's because children are supposed to be in school when they are growing up, right? And when children go to school, we said we would invest 100,000 naira also to take children from the streets back into school, 13 million kids. And when we do that, we have school feeding programs, not the type now, where they are serving what they call transparent dodo. Yes, transparent plantain. That's not what we are talking about. Children should be able to go to school and eat good food, and that will end the poverty we are talking about. It's when parents can't send their kids to school and they have to use them as beasts of burdens, that children become poor, their growth becomes stunted. Government have to intervene. And we also have discussed free healthcare for women and kids across the country, and the aged as well.
What will you do about the value of our naira?
Production is going to show up the value of the naira. The moment you get in the game of production, you have electricity, the value of your currency will show up. It's not something that you can be manipulating, with your fingers.
From YouTube, Michael Monday. Mr. President, my question is on our national identity card. How do we make it function like that of the Europeans and Americans? Can you help us identify them?
Well, as I mentioned before, every nation is in need of data so that we can plan. There's almost, we counted about 6 places through which we gather about data in this country. Starting from immigration, they collect data, driver's license through the Federal Road Safety Corps.
Yes, sir.
BVN is doing banks.
NIPSI.
They call it NIPSI. They collect. INEC collects. Yes, and the phone companies collect identity. But I was speaking to someone this last weekend, and he said, probably there's no way you can build a mansion on the data that is collected through all these people, because there are data that is irregularly and improperly collected and stored. So it needs a lot of merger of data and data security. But we may have to build national identity from the bottom, like we're doing, and making sure that every Nigerian has just one number. So you get rid of BVN, get rid of your phone number, but that one number will be the central number that like a social security number.
Aside corruption, what do you think is the greatest problem, and how do you intend to solve it?
Aside corruption,
what do you think is our greatest problem?
The question is, what are our greatest problems? And for me, I will say it again. It is leadership that causes corruption. It's leadership that causes, bad roads for Nigeria. And this might sound like a generic answer to it, but even when people are discussing regional government, that's what I tell them. After you get the regional government in place, you still need people with integrity to manage the regional government. We have states. The same way the US got states is the same way Nigeria has got states, right? We borrow from the US system of governance, But what is making the difference between Nigeria and the US is leadership. Because the governor cannot steal $5,000 in the US, they'll go to jail. But the governor can steal $1 billion in Nigeria. We have $1 billion in Nigeria, and he will be re-elected into office and promoted to a senator. You know, yeah.
Be given the best governor.
They'll still be giving them the best governor, best senators, and things like that. So these are things that people need to understand, that corruption is as a result of leadership. Yeah. The bad roads that you are driving on is bad leadership. We went to Ajegunle last week. Yeah. Ajegunle has been abandoned completely. It's not Ajegunle alone. Anything in that area has been abandoned. I couldn't believe, because I haven't been there in a long time. I couldn't believe that is part of Nigeria, because there's no presence of governors. Nobody's trying to. They're not even pretending to do anything in those areas anymore. And Ajegunle is probably 60% of Nigeria in terms of how government has abdicated its responsibility. Yes. There's what?
There's somewhere like Ajegunle also in Abuja too.
In Abuja. Oh yeah. Yeah, Pape. Yeah, what about Nyanya and all those? We went
Pape is not as worse. Not as worse as.
Well, no, let us even be comparing where it's worse than that. Anywhere there's no governance is Ajegunle as far as I'm concerned. Anywhere you can get 24 hours electricity, get your roads fixed whenever it's broken, and get government to help you. It's Ajegunle to me.
David Adu from YouTube says, Mr. President, what plans do you have for prison reform?
Prison reform, we've mentioned it several times, that what we need to find out, how many people do we have in prison who deserve to be in prison? Yes. We have a lot of people in prison today who are just awaiting trial. Some people have spent close to 10 to 20 years awaiting trial in prison. That's where the reform should start, is to find out how many people are in prison who have stayed there for too long. Some people are in prison for longer than the sentence they are supposed to receive if they were tried. So prison reform will start from judicial reform as well. We need enough judges who are doing their work well, so that people don't stay in prison longer than they should, or they shouldn't go in prison when they have not been sentenced for any crimes. But most importantly is to start looking at how much we're investing in prisoners. Somebody said that the Minister for Interior said they are spending 14,000 naira daily on each prisoner, and that's crazy. I'm not in prison and I don't spend 14,000 naira on the outside. If they are paying 14,000 naira to prisoners, most people would love to be in prison. That's like a minimum wage per day. A lot of people will opt to go to prison.
That to be outside here, you're earning 18,000 naira.
You are free. You are earning 18,000 naira, and the prisoner gets to spend 14,000 naira per day.
Minimum wage per day.
Yeah, that's close to the minimum wage that people collect in a month. These guys are morons.
They are morons.
Yes, and I'm saying it without apology. If it is true that we're spending that much money on each prisoner,
that's 420 per month.
420,000 per month to feed a prisoner. The prisoner then should be looking more robust than the people outside. Yes. With 420,000 naira per month, you should be able to get, like the medical care you want. You should be driving a car.
That's the line of the person.
Yes, every prisoner should own like a Volvo or something.
She want like iPhone XS.
I don't have a business. I don't have a business being outside.
Yes. Those are, the people you are hearing in the background are like potential prisoners.
Take it back.
I mean, that's on a lighter side, but it's crazy. If it is true, and this is where you need to find out how Nigeria is. It's possible that somebody pockets 14,000 naira per prisoner per day. That's why the Minister of Interior is very robust, I guess. And the prisoners are dying in droves of malnutrition. It's crazy.
President, will you create social welfare?
What do you mean social welfare? Can people
Maybe like social security.
Oh, of
That's
course,
what
we
it's
discussed
implied.
that before. All of the conversation we are having is centered around creating a state that caters for its people. So that's social welfare, right there in a nutshell. But it's the function of institutionalizing that, not that you come around during the election and you start giving trader money. That's bribery of electorate. It should be considered a crime.
So will you allow every state to use their resources to develop their states?
Absolutely. But what happens to the states that have no resources? That's the question.
Are there states that have resources in Nigeria?
There are states that don't have enough resources to sustain that much, Osun is not the only one. What do people have in Ekiti?
Cannabis.
Now you're talking, yes. That's a $4 billion industry right there.
Can you make education free?
Education?
Yes.
Yes. We said we will make education free. It's not that we've seen free education work before in Nigeria, so it's not like something that is impossible.
Even without oil money.
Without oil money. When we were selling cocoa, we had free education. When people were selling groundnuts in the north. So absolutely you can make education free.
How was your meeting today with the civil society?
It went very well. So we're going to get a lot of activist people back on track, supporting us. Went very well. Yes.
Can you change the poster behind you to that of you and the VP, since we know our VP now?
We ran out of the one for me and VP, so
need money.
that's why we need money. No, for real, we want to start a campaign to get 10 million naira. 10 million naira will help us print. Yeah, it will help us with posters that can go around the country rapidly. We've run out of posters. Let me check. Sorry for a second. We're supposed to find out how much we made recently. We've been getting. We have been getting more money through GoFundMe. Interestingly,
Really?
a
We
lot
also
of
have
more
some donations.
donations. Yeah,
Action!
and I'm going to look at.
Zenith Bank.
Zenith Bank, somebody's working on the Zenith Bank, but I want to read out the people who have made donations to us recently on GoFundMe. It's amazing. People are making a lot of donations on GoFundMe, better than we've ever experienced before. 2 hours ago, Hige Pedro gave us $20.
Thank you.
Daniel Fetuga, $20.
Thank you, Daniel.
Helen Kamuisi, $20. Benga Dodo Williams, 15 hours ago, gave us $50.
Thank you.
Tosin Jacobs, $50. Babatunde Banwo, $200.
Thank you.
Isaac Montala, $100. Rita Ake Otiko, $100. Tumbosun Olasimbo, $100. Adis Olujo Humbe, $200. He left us a very, very long message. And he said he commends our sacrifice. So that's about what we have there. I think we need to find out more, but that's so far what has populated. We'll get back to you. So we're waiting for accountants to calculate what came in through Zenith Bank, but it's important to announce at this time that the people of Australia, Nigerians in Australia, donated to us over 4 million naira.
Whoa.
Take it back!
Action! Take it back!
Action!
Actually, it was about 5 million naira. That's how much we got from the trip to Australia. So you can imagine if everybody out there did what the Australians did, the Australian outbackers.
They still want you back though.
Take it backers. In fact, they just contacted us that they still have more money coming in after we left, after the 5 million naira. Okay. So go fund me. Okay, this is Akintiko. Kayode Adebanjo, $20.
Thank you.
Fred Iyashere, $25.
Thank you.
Victoria Thompson, $10.
Thank you.
Olu Kayode Fowosere, $50. Bumi Akonde, $30. Elvis Ida Kewa, $20. There's an anonymous donor for $250. Adebayo Ojo, $20. The girl of Nomade, $150. Adejoke Adelanwa, $20. And our most powerful Peter Olawune, another $50.
Thank you.
That was money he contributed to the VP.
Yes.
They like the VP so much. They have been contributing more money since we presented our VP, and they found out that he's a very, very brilliant guy. I think your system needs to
Sir,
come back. Yeah.
David Adu on YouTube says, thanks for the response on prison reform. We hope to see you back in Australia, Brisbane.
Wow, Brisbane people are asking me to come back. I
Maybe
will.
they have more money for us.
Yes, they will give us more money. I trust those people. They don't play. In fact, they got upset that they didn't get invited on time. There are a lot of professionals in Australia.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to just fix this. Nigerians are doing better for other countries. Felix Osaze Agbonlaho, this was $100. And Keruka Ugo 2 days ago, I donated $50. Chief Peteru, $20. And it's important to mention again Ade Awotedu, who donated $1,000. So the trick for us to raise the money we need is for Nigerians, 10,000 of them, to donate $200 each, and we'll reach $2 million. So at the rate at which we are going, we have already reached $93,111 of our $2 million goal. So I think in a matter of days we'll reach that landmark, 100,000, and we'll be progressing fast to
Before campaign starts.
$2 million. Thank you so much, everyone. Still working on getting a feedback regarding Zenith Bank. The reason why Zenith Bank has become a little tricky these days is because the phone that we use for Zenith Bank is the phone we are using for. So if we need to buy another phone, so that if anyone has a used Samsung S9, use one. Yeah. Did you need something from my phone? Okay. No, I'm checking to see if we heard from, our accountant is here to get back to us regarding Zenith. But mostly the amount of money in Zenith is mostly the amount of money that we just told you about, because we had the Australians transfer the money into the Zenith Bank account for the sake of transparency. So thank you so much, Australia. Give them a round of applause. What else do I wait for that? Is there any other question?
Yes, question.
So those who want a soft copy of the image for the VP to be included in the posters, you can send us a message to our WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number is 0818-823-7529. 0818-823-7529. WhatsApp only. And we're on our way to London pretty soon. On November 9th, we'll be in Manchester for a big fundraiser. Following day in London, and the day after, we'll also be in London. We also have fundraisers scheduled for Minnesota. We have one for Chicago and Ohio. And I think there's also one for Maryland. So everywhere is buzzing with fundraisers. And then starting from November 18th, they'll take up the lead on campaigns across the country. That is to say, we'll be free to campaign openly, and we'll be hitting the road across Nigeria and outside of Nigeria, because this is a global campaign. Yeah, so you can't wait. We'll be doing what is necessary. Though some of you saw us yesterday in Ondo State. Yes, right. Do you want to increase that? I love that bit.
Make us proud, take it back, collect them back, show them the way, and make us proud. Let's take it back.
Maybe we'll have like a dance competition at this.
That is jumping.
If you never hear me, hear Omoyele, if you want me to president, Omoyele. 30 years of consistency, make I tell you, you know easy. Transparency, tolerance, silent enough to show my diversity. Tested, trusted, only if you do take it back. Food and security, take it back. Take it back. Free education, take it back. Basic transportation, take it back. Family for the nation, take it back. Let's take it back.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for that.
DJ Misty.
That's DJ Misty right there. So, is there any questions? Do you have any questions for us? I know I got cut off midway, so.
From Yemisiola Nikbeko on YouTube, thanks President Sowore for your boldness and effort. My question is, what are you going to do about the staffs in immigration sector? I mean, Nigeria embassy.
Oh yeah. Those ones are very, very important for us. Those guys are very, very. It's a sad story. Sad story because the the embassy staff across the world are not doing well for Nigerians. And we've seen it with what happens when Nigerians are attacked or when they're in need of services. You call this you call the embassies or consulates, you don't get to get help in a lot of consulates across the country, across the world. So we have to completely revamp our embassies, and that has to happen. The immigration department is not the only source of, embassy and consular staff. They also come from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and as you know, they're not different from the rest. So we will revamp. It will revamp everywhere. Everything will have to change or will change. All right, now finally, I think we got some feedback. Wow. Okay. So what happened here is that the total financial summary update as of November 5, 2018. Total raised since the beginning of the challenge today. That's the challenge. We had this 10,000 Nigerians to donate 10K. No, why did they increase it? This 1,000 Nigerians to donate 10K. Yeah, to donate 10K. So, total raised since the beginning of the challenge as of today is 7,497,364 naira 41 kobo. So you said there was a mistake. We added the initial amount remitted from the fundraising we had in Australia, which was about 1.5 million, to the total amount of this 7 million we're talking about, raised for the challenge the other day. We had also factored in the amount of 160K donated to our departed Delta comrades. The corrected amount raised from the challenge as of yesterday is 5,671,877 naira 50 kobo. So the amount raised since our challenge, since the last fundraising event on November 3, Zenith Bank is 228,001.50 kobo. So GoFundMe, we've raised $1,695,000, which is the equivalent of 606,000 naira, 810 naira, 606,810 naira. Total raised since last fundraising event is 834,811 naira, 50 kobo. So from the total amount of money raised on GoFundMe, we mentioned before, 93,111, which is equivalent of 33,333,738 naira. Naira. Total raised for the campaign to date is 62,827,944 naira, 49 kobo. Where did the 1 kobo go? I don't understand. Because it was 15 kobo. So we want to mention Ganiyu Kabiru, who gave us 2,000 naira. Adeyeye Femi Oke, 2,000 naira. That couldn't have been Femi here. Adewale Olumide Awoshika, 5,000 naira. Akintoye Shakiru Akonji, 10,000 naira. Bello Susan, 10,000 naira. Onemola Bodunde, wow, she's a coordinator of TIBA CSCO in Abuja, 10,000 naira. Oladipo Olalekan Olugbade, 10,000 naira. Obey Stephen, 10,000 naira. Johnson Michael Shola, 10,000 naira. There was a transfers remittance for 13,539 naira, 50 kobo. Emmanuel Akulang, 20,000 naira, 251 naira, 50 kobo. 50,000 naira came from Ward Remit, I don't know who. Blanchard Rose Ejiro, 5,000 naira. Roche Ugochukwu on behalf of Australia folks. Okay, that was the one that came as 3,570,000 naira. That was how the transfer came to us from Australia. John Kelechi is 20,000 naira. Oyefeso Julie K, 50,000 naira. So it's important to mention that our supporters in Australia had earlier sent in 1,531,985 naira, 41 kobo. That was on November 2nd. So the total amount of money that came from Australia, please start drying off your palms so that you can clap very well. The rates that remitted to us a total of 5,101,985 naira, 41 kobo. And these guys are still threatening to send us more money.
We like that kind of threat.
Yes, it's a good threat. We need that threat.
So we want to do special mention of the TIB Australian folks for their 5 million naira. Thank you so much. Miguel Onomade, who gave us $150. These are the people who, special mention are people who donate beyond 50,000 naira, who gave us $150 on GoFundMe. Osiris Kimati, $250. That's equivalent of 89,000 naira, 500. And what Miguel gave us is 53,700 in naira now, because we are spending in naira. But at this, Oludo Humbe is $200. That's 71,600. Babatunde Banwo, $200. That's 71,600. Thank you guys a lot for doing so much. So we want to start to raise 10 million naira to print posters massively. Who is the poster guy who used to be here? The printer. He wanted to tell. He had told me how much 10 million, how many posters 10 million can do. If you find him wherever he is, please let him come. But do you have any questions in the meantime?
Yes, sir.
I'm missing my phone. I'm missing my phone because there's a lot of comments that comes in through WhatsApp messages. But because we only have one phone, we have to be sharing the phone with. Because if you have any Samsung,
they are not using.
If you have any Samsung S9 that you are not using, or what's the iPhone iPhone X. It's the one that doesn't do overheating. Yes. Oh wow! Our first billboard is going up tomorrow in Alimosho area of Lagos.
Yes. Take it back.
Action.
So I don't know. We're planning another one for Abuja. If you can donate billboards, please let us know also. And those of you who reach out to us, promise to make donations and disappear. We'll start mentioning your names for tomorrow's broadcast. Yes. We'll do a shout out to you in case you have forgotten that you made a donation. We have one of our friends in the US said he was going to give us a drone.
Yes.
We never heard back from him. There's somebody who promised to give us a car. Never heard back from them.
300 t-shirts.
300 t-shirts also. They never heard. But do you know their names? Tomorrow, from tomorrow,
Call them out.
We'll be shouting out to you, not to scandalize you, just a shout out. We want billboards in Abuja. Please donate. We want in Kaduna. We want in Kano. We want in Jos. We want in Port Harcourt. We want in Benin City. We want 2 billboards in Ore, in Ondo State. That's the place where most people pass through.
There's no harm in wanting billboards everywhere in Nigeria.
Yeah, but these are the key areas to start with. So how much does it cost to donate, to make a billboard? That's
350.
Yeah.
It depends on the size. Like the one going up tomorrow.
The one going up tomorrow was about 350. So let's say for 500,000 naira, you can get a billboard. So if you want to commit 500,000 naira, we'll get the billboard up in your name. Yes. We may not necessarily write your name there, but if you want us to write your name, contributed by, because this is a campaign supported by regular people. And we know a lot of you can afford this.
So how much is the cost? Because a lot of people.
500,000 is billboards. So we need several billboards in Abuja. One on the way from the airport, one on the way from land. We need several billboards in Lagos. We need to rent a Lagos office. We have office contributed to us in Abuja for the Abuja. So we have to give a shout out to those people. You can clap for Haruna, who is based in Ireland. He's based in Scotland. He gave us a 5-bedroom office in Abuja. Wow. Haruna is his name. They said somebody contributed an office in Mende area of Maryland today, but we haven't gotten the details yet. So a lot of people are making donations in cash and in kind as well.
6-bedroom flat.
We have a car from Teller, but it's going to cost us 250,000 naira to fix the car. We might as well just buy one.
So we have
it. When you have a car donated to you and they say you have to fix the radiator, you have to buy 4 tires, you have to change the engine and your upholstery. Don't give us those kind of. You're saying something.
We had 6-bedroom flat in Ajangbadi.
6-bedroom flat.
Yes.
Wow. Ajangbadi area of Lagos. Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Michael Sobande, evening, sir. What is your take on archaeology and its role in tourism and us narrating our history?
I completely support that. We need to go back to telling our own stories. This is the best way to tell our stories. Have you guys ever heard about Ali Mazrui? Anybody heard about Ali Mazrui?
Ali Mazrui.
Yeah, you heard about
Ali Mazrui.
Ali Mazrui. No. Yeah, he's a historian who did the whole study of Africa, and he presented it on TV. And he talked about archaeology, history, and all of that. Those are the kind of things that bring back the memories. But But most Nigerians would rather be watching what do they call it, the show.
African Magic.
No, it's not African. The one that is
Big Brother.
It's not Big Brother. That's the one they bring from South America.
Telemundo.
Telemundo. Yeah.
Aziworld.
Yeah. We are more interested in Telemundo.
No.
Nobody has said about Zainab in a long time. She's still here, by the way. You know, and, she did a fantastic job yesterday covering the water landing that we did in Ondo State.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to her. You know. And then shout out to Misty, who's also a DJ here.
DJ Misty.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to all of you for the fantastic job traveling and out of Ondo State yesterday. That was pretty intense.
Yes.
At the point we got extricated by soldiers who had to shoot into the air. Yes. And this is to tell those of you who are area boys who think that we have money and love to hold us up.
Asking donations from them.
We are asking
I
you
think
to
we should
give us
start
money.
asking them when we
start
go so
asking
they
you.
know.
It's about your future. You know. Don't ask us for money and you know we don't have money to give you. It doesn't matter how long you hold us. We are now we you know, now you go feed us after you hold us up to the point. So
from Kudus Ganiu YouTube, it says, Mr. President, I hope countermeasures are available to prevent rigging. I'm sure APC and PDP already have rigging plans on ground.
Yes, we have countermeasures. And but it doesn't make sense to reveal that because otherwise you are giving them advance notice on what to avoid. But they will be shocked. Absolutely. It's important that you hear from one guy who gave a testimony yesterday in Ondo State, who was my former classmate, and he made it clear that he's a PDP operative. He said he wants to let them know that there's one election. If there's an election you cannot rig, is this particular election, and that's all I'll tell you. That's all I'll tell you. Do you have any more questions? It's
3 minutes to 11.
It's 3 minutes to 11.
Sure.
No time again, yo, everybody there with you. Take it back, you need to change some settings.
Who's actually a Redeemed Christian Church of God pastor? Yes, a great pastor. We have Juwon in the house as well. His name is Sanyaolu, but I call him Juwon Aluta. And Federal Officer Agbero, we don't want to mention his last name. We were going to ask how much will it cost for us to print, how many posters can we make with 10 million naira, because when we're raising 10 million naira starting from tonight to print posters massively. Posters, big and small, and brooches and t-shirts as well, face cap. Or do you want to do that for tomorrow when we return from Ife? All right. So we'll do a calculation of how many caps we need, or we can print with 10 million naira. Posters, t-shirts. These are things that work a lot for us. Posters, t-shirts, face cap, and what else? What about the brooches? Yeah, phone stickers and car stickers as well. Car stickers. Yeah, yes. So,
did you mention Femi Adeye?
Oh, Femi Adeye. Yes, Femi. Please clap for Femi. Pastor. Yes. I want to see. Yes. There's a lot that we are just mentioning the people who are around tonight. Tomorrow, as many more, as many of them show up, I will introduce them to you. All right, it's 11:03 right now. Sorry, 11:04, and I don't think we got any donations tonight from.
We did.
GoFundMe.
One. Okay, from Zenith we got one. From Secure.
Security from Zenith.
Yes.
How much did you do that?
We don't know. We can't see it.
Okay, we can say it. So tomorrow we will announce these new names. All right. Yes, we just mentioned that. Do you know this?
$20.
Just now.
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago. That's a Hige Pedro. I think we did mention that. There's another $20 from an anonymous person as well. Have we? Babatunde Olonade donated $100 and also shared.
Yeah.
That's very good. Thank you, everyone. You can. We'll see you tomorrow, same time.
Take it back!
We will not stop until we take it back. All right, DJ.